episode 2 in the Savage Army series, which will most likely be sold to Netflix before the end of this year. Both you and I know that this is going to be the result of this opportunity for you and me to connect with one another. You and me, brother, we are at different parts of the world, but we have joined forces due to the desire to align with the Savage that already exists within us. I offer training programs, I offer services, all of which can be found at thesavagearmy.com or in the description below this video. During the next coming 35 to maybe 40 minutes, I said 30 minutes yesterday, but due to great amount of questions that you guys had in the very end, I wanted to stay and hang and answer these great questions and continue to have these great type of communication and energy exchange, because that's what it comes down to. For me, it's all about connecting with each and every one of you guys, and I want this to be an opportunity for you and me to hold space for one another. So this is not a scripted narrative for episode number 2. However, we are going to talk about why I train the way I do, the Savage method, what it is, why you should consider it, and why I fucking love it. That's what this episode is going to be about, along with every other question that you have. We have first 2 savages saying hi and sharing that they are here in today's event. Can we make sure that the quality of the sound and the quality of the video is up to our standards? Can you leave me a thumbs up down in the comment section so that I know that everything is working accordingly on your end as well? That will be fantastic. It will be a great opportunity for me before I continue blabbling about everything. Yes, it's good, excellent. So my first question to you guys, we have 8 savages part of this live right now as we speak, is where in the world are you currently watching this live event from? This will give us an understanding of what a global community we actually are. And later on in this live, I will continue asking this question as well, because this will really have us understand that we are a global freaking force. Okay, so we have Y Carson X. He is based in Germany. I am currently in Stockholm, Sweden. So we have 2 European countries, Germany and Sweden, represented. Anywhere else that you guys are, the 5 remaining people that are still here in today's live right now, let me know where in the world you're currently watching this live event from, so that we can understand why and how we are such a global community. So let us talk about the Savage method. The Savage method that I train on a daily basis means that every day I commit to performing 300 repetitions. That is my absolute non-negotiable. Every single day I perform 300 repetitions. I am in different parts of the world. You have probably followed me when I am in Italy, when I have been in Miami, I have been in Costa Rica, and now I am in Stockholm. Whatever tool I have accessible to me of the 3 Savage tools, I use. For example, I have access to a 20 kilo kettlebell right now. So I used the kettlebell training program 3.0 for today's workout. Tomorrow I'm going to be able to have access to one of our 100-pound Savage sandbag. So I will do 300 repetitions based upon this tool specifically. The Savage method basically means that I perform this 300 repetition as a bare minimum every single day using these 3 Savage tools, which are a kettlebell, which is a mace bell or a sledge, or also known as a Gada, and a Savage sandbag. Now you may ask yourself, why am I using these tools? Or the first question may be, do you also do more conventional type of training inside of the gym? So to answer that, no, I do not. Very rarely do I step inside of a gym, and when I do, I want to make sure that I maintain my numbers with a compound barbell movement such as deadlift, squat, and bench press. I want to be able to lift 500 pounds in deadlift, squat 400 pounds, and bench 300 pounds. That I want to be able to do not only once in my life, but consecutively until I fucking pass out and die and travel somewhere else that we have no idea where that might be. I doubt that I will be reincarnated as something as beautiful as this. Anyways, is Sweden nice? Is the first question. Maybe I get there instead of December for the snow. I definitely think that Sweden offers a lot of great things. However, I do not appreciate the winter time here due to the lack of sun, but that's more or less all over Europe, of course. But since I have been living in Miami for the past 15, 16 years of my life, I have started to not appreciate heat and humidity as much. So I do appreciate cooler weather, which Stockholm definitely offers. So I appreciate being in Stockholm, one, because I can speak the language freely finally, being in the United States, then being in Costa Rica, speaking Spanish, and then living in Italy as well. You tend to, having to have to think every single day in those different languages and try to, make yourself understood. So I like that I can just speak freely and speak my native language here. So, parlo italiano? Un po'. I think I speak like basic Italian. I live in a small village in Tuscany where everybody who lives there is senior. We're talking about 70 and up, and they speak Italian only. So I don't want to be that person who is the foreigner and barely speaks, any Italian. I think it's very rude, and I think that wherever you are, you should be able to speak at least, basic type of Italian or Spanish or wherever you might be. So I'm definitely getting better as well. We have London represented by James K. Thank you so much. I love your training videos because inspiration. Because of the inspiration, it gives me inspiration to get in shape. I greatly appreciate that, James. Thank you so much. No, I do not speak French, unfortunately. And do you only do strength training or do you run also? So running for me is currently a no-go. I have been sprinting more, which I greatly appreciate, but longer, steady-paced cardio, I do not do running. However, I do have a lot of conditioning coming from the kettlebells, which I greatly appreciate, and I feel like that is more effective to me. So to touch a little bit more, on the Savage method, it's basically doing and committing to 300 repetitions, sometimes even more. All of the training that I do is high volume training, which means that the amount of repetitions that I do are significantly higher than doing 5x7 or 5x8 repetitions inside of a gym. Why I like it so much is because mentally I also get very challenged. When you have so much repetitions to perform, I of course use lighter weight in some movements. For example, I don't always use my 150-pound Savage sandbag. I sometimes use the 100 pounds so that I can keep a higher amount of repetitions. But nevertheless, mentally, you are definitely being challenged when you do more high volume type of training because you are doubting yourself so many times. And I love when I have created and programmed a session for myself, and I know that halfway through, I'm already doubting if I'm going to be able to finish, 2/3 of it. And then again, like, okay, I have another 100 repetitions left to do of this movement, for example. So I love to challenge myself both mentally and physically because that, I believe, builds character. Going to a gym is fantastic in many ways. Doing compound barbell lifts is absolutely fantastic. I'm not saying anything about that, but I love working out outdoors in nature, not necessarily in a forest, that's what I'm saying, but outdoors, breathing fresh air, as fresh as it can get in a city, although Stockholm is perhaps one of the cleanest cities in Europe. I love being outdoors and I love working with these tools and I love the amount of repetitions that I train with. So to go off topic a little bit, this is going to be in a different video where we're going to talk about the Savage Army Coach certification. It basically means that you as a participant will go from being a beginner perhaps with mace belt training to a Savage, ready to program your own training, or if you already are a fitness professional, to be able to train your client in the Savage method as well. So the Savage Army Coach certification is going to take place the 11th of October, and it's going to be 10 hours hands-on where you get to learn how to use a kettlebell in the transverse plane, the way I train, the way you have seen me train, our Savage sandbag, which is also included in the certification price or cost, and the GADA or a mace belt. Many people do misunderstand and think that they need to have a GADA or a mace belt, where in reality you can use a sledgehammer. If you are a beginner, hear me out here guys, if you are a beginner, do not make the same mistake as I did. I started off with 20 pounds, which is roughly 10 kilos, say. And that was way too much. I am happy that I didn't lose control and injure myself during that time because of the movement being so unique to me. Most of the people watching this live, we have been very linear in our training approach, whereas working with a mace belt around our head like this is very transverse plane active, which I hadn't been working and training in the past. So that was all very new to me. So number one, get a sledge. Number two, invest in the mace belt training program that you can find in the description down below this live event, because I have 10 tutorial videos on how to use the mace belt or a sledge, how to perform a shield cast, 10 to 2, uppercut, kneeling uppercut, savage uppercuts. There are so many movements that you're going to be able to do in the mace belt training program, and it will give you a structure. I didn't have a structure when I first started off. I didn't have any form of tutorial videos. I was literally just trying to copy somebody that I thought looked pretty cool doing this on Instagram. Perhaps that's how you met me the first time or came about me, but yeah, that's it. And do you only do strength training? Oh, this is what I asked before, exactly, or answered before. Running is also very hard, mind game, absolutely. Especially the long runs, like 10 kilometers plus, your brain stops working and only the body is working. You can only see the street and that's it. That's everything you see. I absolutely agree with you. I have ran 5 ultra marathons in my life. Ultra marathon is anything longer than a regular marathon, and this one was a 50K. I ran 5 50K ultra marathons taking place in terrain, and I agree with you. For me, running is definitely humbling in so many ways. It brings you back to the basic, and it literally is like you and your machine and mind a machine out running. And the longer you go, the more challenging it definitely becomes. So I absolutely agree with you. Hello, I am in awe of your fantastic body. Thank you so much. You are phenomenal, Marty. Thank you so much, Marty, for your great feedback and energy. I really focus on having a machine that is capable. I may not look and have an appearance that is the most shredded and symmetrically shaped individual here on the internet. That is not my goal. I am on no performance-enhanced drugs whatsoever, but I do love to be able to rely on my mental and physical capacity to perform in any given environment at any given time. This is how I've been trained. If you didn't watch the episode from yesterday where I spoke about the origins of myself and where this type of training came about, I am an Arctic Ranger. When I was 18 years old, I graduated as an Arctic Ranger in the northern part of Sweden, which means that you learn how to operate behind enemy lines and do so in a way where you definitely can rely on your mental and physical capacity. Believe me, this was definitely one of the greatest tasks that I've ever taken on and accomplished. I practiced this type of training methodology and type of mindset in the mountains of Afghanistan as well during a tour, but then I decided to retire from the army and focus all of this knowledge that I had on training one-on-one clients, which I did in Miami for the past 15 years. I've spent years playing rugby and now I am past 30. My knees are no longer my friend at times, but then I love doing what I can. The Savage 100 is an unbelievable workout, so seriously, thank you. First and foremost, I greatly appreciate your trust, your support, and persistence for investing in the 100 Savage training program. It's 100 sessions that focuses on training together with a sledge, a kettlebell, and a sandbag. So I greatly appreciate that. I think that to save your knees, I would try to avoid like those heavier lifts together with the sandbag perhaps. Do you feel like you're being bothered or limited with the sandbags when it comes to what you have going on with your knees right now? Or do you prefer more like mace belt training or more transverse plane movement together with lighter kettlebells? Let me know. This is an interesting topic, so I would like to be there for you. Hello, Savage. The big hello from I can't even pronounce that now. From Russia. Pleasure to connect you. We are love you. We are in love with you. I appreciate that. I don't know if I'm anyone to love really, but I have my dog who loves me. My mom and dad still loves me a lot, so I'll take that. Everything else is, taken with, how do you put it, like a grain of salt, with a grain of salt. All right, more questions, Savages. I am here for you guys. We have spoken a little bit about the Savage method, what it is if you just now joined this live, the episode number 2 of the Savage Army series. Do you guys like this type of interaction that we can have right now? Do you like this type of series? Let me know in the comment section, because we may be able to sell this to Netflix by the end of this year, and it would be really fun to do so I can cash out and go and retire and drink gin and tonic somewhere, which I'm kind of already are, but anyways, that's a different story. By the way, love your work. Thank you so much. I found your account with the quote, "F your protein powder." That was quite some time ago. That was a viral video that definitely went a little bit crazy. But I stand for that then, and I stood for that then, and I stand for that now as well. So that was really good. All right. Perfect. I'm just making sure that this comment was shown. Okay, there we go. All right, so more questions, guys. Do you guys like this type of live events, these types of series that we can have? My goal is to have this every single day for the next coming 7 days. So we take 7 episodes at a time, and we talk about different topics. Today we have talked about the Savage method so far, and it's all about committing to doing 300 repetitions, doing higher volume type of training, which I absolutely fucking love, using 3 tools: a Savage sandbag. If you don't have one, check out the savagearmy.com. I highly recommend one of our 100-pound Savage sandbags as a great entry level. The 150 is more if you've done a lot of compound barbell lifts, such as deadlifts and squats. 150 pounds definitely adds up. And then we also have 220 pounds, which is definitely a progression from the 150 pounds. So go to the savagearmy.com. The link that we have in the bio is, or down in the description, takes you to the Savage training bundle, which is basically 6 high volume training programs based on a kettlebell, a mace or a sledge, and a Savage sandbag. Thank you for replying, says the K Young Voice. I appreciate you, brother. Fuck, you're here and you're sharing your great energy, and of course I'm gonna answer you. The weight is less of an issue, but have more problems with longevity of running, for example. I think that's why I like the workout style. So I agree with you. I do not do a lot of running myself, absolutely not. And it's not because I don't think that running is good or whatnot, but I do think that kettlebell conditioning, for example, and mace conditioning definitely trains me in a way that I like. So I don't find the need to be out and jogging or running. Again, I'm not saying anything that, it's not good for you or anything like that. It's just not a preferred method of training of mine. I may be, the 99 kilos that I carry might be a little bit, too heavy to run with, but it's always doing fucking 100 pull-ups as well. It definitely handles the fuck out of me every single time. Awesome. We have a few more Savages have joined now. We're 25 Savages in today's live, and my first question of this live was, where are you currently watching this live event from? Let me know down in the comment section. We have Sweden represented by myself, and we have Germany represented as well. Let's see where else you who are watching this video is located in the world. This will give us a great understanding of what a global community we are. We have Mr. Billy Harrison. He says that he is representing UK. We have the K Young Voice. He is representing the Highlands of Scotland. So you guys already know. We have Germany, Sweden. We have the UK. We have Scotland represented. We have England represented. Exactly. Okay, so Billy Harrison said UK, England. Okay, perfect. So Scotland is part of the UK. Correct. Forgive me if I am not, 100% certain of this. Where else are you guys watching this live event from? Let me know down in the comment section. Just gonna make sure that the mustache is on point. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I actually gonna start buying like this mustache wax. When I was in Lisbon, this is a true story. When I was in Lisbon, 1 week ago, I went to a barber, and the gentleman who helped me is Indian, and he said, if you have a strong body, if you train a lot, you need to have the mustache represent that type of physique, okay? So he literally said that my mustache looks like shit, and he cleaned it up underneath here and everything, and he trimmed the ends, and then he added wax, so it basically had a little bit of upgoing trend here. which I fucking thought looked so good. He said Punjabi warriors are not to fuck with. So you look Punjabi right now, he said, and I was like, fuck yes. I gave him €5 extra just for that compliment. So that was awesome. Okay, so we have England. Ari Pike is also representing England. So far we have Scotland, England, we have Germany and Sweden. The rest of you have not answered, so what the fuck, man? Come on, let me know where in the comment section where you're located at. The question here from my German friend, he asked, what's your opinion about the brand Through Dark? So Through Dark is a brand that I have been wearing for the past 5 years. Pants, the trousers, and the t-shirt that you see that is of little compression, more like a what is it called? A shield guard? Is that what it's called? Anyways, that shirt that I'm wearing is from Through Dark. I also have their wind jacket, and I also have one of those jackets that are like more of a little thicker material, more like insulated for like mid cold temperatures. We have South Africa represented as well. Thank you so much. That is awesome. So we're outside of Europe, which is incredible. So I greatly appreciate Through Dark. I think that they have a history, and the people who are working for Through Dark and have organized it and started and founded it, they live their brand, you know, they live their ethos, which I definitely appreciate. Now I have reached out to them many times and want to have a collaboration with Through Dark, because I want to offer products and services to the Savage Army that I use myself and that I believe in. This is not going to be a paid collaboration in any shape or form. I'm not looking for anything else that I make and generate myself. I don't want to sell and promote other brands' products, if that makes any sense, unless the pay is significantly higher than, you know, oh, you're getting 20% of commission on every sale that you make. Fuck that shit. I'm not a fucking salesperson for a different brand. So I wanted to have a collaboration with them where you as a buyer could get some discount, because I want to have a strong foundation of men, like-minded brothers around the world, wearing the same type of gear that I definitely appreciate. So they have not accepted my collaboration. They say that they don't have the budget for it and whatnot, which is really weird. Anyways, so that is the story about Through Dark. I appreciate their products. I don't really appreciate the way they could be doing business instead of how they are doing business. Anyways, that's a different story. The clothes are so extremely expensive. So it depends on what kind of clothes you are wanting to have. But for example, yes, I paid $145 for the pants, but the pants they fit me perfectly. They have held up so much better than any other brand that I've had in the past. The shirt itself, I pay maybe $80 for that shirt, maybe $70, which is a huge amount of money. But I literally wore that shirt, and I work out every single day, and I wear that every single day. And it's the only shirt that I have from them, and I've been wearing that for the past 4 months. So 4 months. And the one before that, I discarded that after a full year. So think about that. You spend a little bit more money up front, but it lasts you significantly longer than any other gear that I have used in the past, and that's hands down the truth. What's your opinion on how much fat you should have? So I am definitely never going to recommend a type of diet to you and be of a nutritional guide or such. I think that there are so many other people out there that are much better in recommending what kind of nutrition you should have, because I eat very varied. For today, for example, I had a lomo saltado, which is a Peruvian dish that is absolutely fantastic, but it's basically, you know, a good piece of meat together with fried fast and furiously together with tomato and onion. But I had that together with, you know, potato fries. You know, like this is how I eat. I don't necessarily think about the exact amount of X, Y, and Z. I make sure that I get calories in, because I need to have fuel to fuel my system. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking to be shredded, so I would not like stay away from certain types of carbs because I want to lean out a little bit. You guys know how I fucking look. I am no shredded human being. I don't have a symmetrical physique or anything like that. I need to have fuel. I look upon food as fuel. But I do eat a lot of fucking eggs. I do eat my avocados. I eat a lot of olive oil. I love steaks. I have a lot of steaks. I love a lot of chicken, a lot of fish. But I don't like an hour ago, I had three Swedish cinnamon buns that came straight out of the oven. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. Yesterday, I had a whole fucking chocolate bar. I don't give a fuck about that. So I would not be the one that says to you, hey, you should eat this way, because then I would lie to you. Okay, and I don't want to be that person who copy pastes a nutritional program from you to you to you, and I charge X, Y, and Z for that. That's not what I'm about. What I do very fucking good is to create high volume training programs and create tutorial videos within each of those training programs. That I do really fucking good. So if you haven't checked out those programs yet, check out the tag product in this live or in the description below this live, or any other program that we have at thesavagearmy.com. Those are phenomenal, and thousands of men globally, I'm not saying that, I am meaning that, have already started, and they're well on their way to align with the Savage that already exists within them. Thank you for the demonstrations from United States. Thank you. I think that you're referring to the tutorial videos on how to do different kinds of kettlebell videos, kettlebell movements and such. I absolutely love doing that as well, so more people can learn without purchasing my programs. I basically value offering the programming of these movements so much because it simplifies everything for you, the investor. Because if you have one kettlebell in the size range of 10 kilos to 20 kilos, that would be like 20 to 40 pounds, for example, you can do so much more than you think. And to have a day 1 to day 30 structure, I think that's so much fucking value for $45, in my opinion. I'm not saying that I am, cheap or anything like that, but $45 for what I offer is absolutely worth it. So check out thesavagearmy.com. Jack Jones, he says, I am 191 centimeters and 110 kilos. I don't feel fat. Should I lose some weight? This is obviously a fantastic question. Why would you lose weight? Do you feel like you can't, operate? Do you feel tired? Do you feel like you have less energy because of your size? Then perhaps, maybe 1-2 kilos down would do you better. But, for what reason do you want to go down in weight? I never recommend anybody to lose weight. I focus rather on gaining strength. So if you feel like you have strength, and if you feel like you have a lot of, time to invest in getting further stronger, then I would rather focus on that instead. This whole concept of losing weight and that kind of stuff, I think it's, unnecessary. For example, I weigh 99 kilos and I can't run that well because I get tired a lot. But since it's not something that I want to do and want to practice more often, I don't have any desire to. However, in the past, like I'd say, well, during the summertime, I was drinking maybe every day to one extent, like, a wine glass here, a gin and tonic here, or maybe 2 glasses of gin and tonic one day, or maybe 3 glasses of gin and tonic. And I just felt like, fuck, I'm gaining like all of this like fucking swollen. I feel like so like with such little energy and whatnot. So that was a decision of mine. Like, I need to adjust certain things in my habits and my nature in order for me to perform to my greatest ability. That was a change that I needed, but it was never depending on, for example, appearance. I'm not saying that your question was about the appearance, that you want to look a certain way, that you want to shred out a little bit. For me, it was rather like, I want to be able to perform. I want to be able to get proper sleep and not wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning and be like having my heart rate like to-dum, 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 and not being able to sleep, because that affects everything. So I'm like, fuck, I need to focus more on recovery and get proper sleep and get my cold showers in the morning, and then, stay away from alcohol for a little bit. So now it's been like, 7 days since I drank, which feels perfect. It feels absolutely fantastic. It's not something that I need, but it was a habitual practice of like enjoying to have something in the end of the day or whatnot. But Right now, I feel so much better sleeping like a fucking champ, waking up, having so much energy, being able to have these live events at this time without having any fucking caffeine in my system whatsoever, just feeling fucking pumped and ready to connect with the savages in the Savage Army. Yeah, those calculators and BMI index calculating bullshit, I think that's absolutely fucking garbage. Like 100% bullshit. So forget about that shit. It's all about how you appreciate your ability to perform. Can you rely on your mental and physical capacity in any given environment at any given time? Yes, no, that answer can only you give. Yeah, so we've been active, guys, for 30 minutes right now in the episode number 2 of the Savage Army series. Do you guys appreciate this type of series, these types of live events? Do you appreciate this type of interaction? Thumbs up for let's fucking continue this for the rest of this year. Nah, I'm pretty okay. Let's end it after 7 episodes, which is my commitment before we evaluate if this was valuable to both you and me. It's all about having a win-win. Mr. Y Carson X from Germany, he says thumbs up, he appreciates it. That's great to know. And if I can offer you anything from our savagearmy.com website, feel free to ask me any questions. Do you have one kettlebell? Great, I have a kettlebell training program for you. Do you have a kettlebell and a sledge? Great, I have a perfect training program for you. Do you only have one sandbag? Fantastic, I have a sandbag training program for you. You don't own a sandbag? Great, I can ship it to you on Wednesday next week worldwide. So I have a solution for all of the so-called problems that you have as to why you should not continue your journey of being a motherfucking savage. Are you over 35? Are you too busy, feeling unmotivated? I got the fucking structure that you need, period. Stop the bullshit and let's get to fucking work. What do you think about fasting? I fast sometimes 36 hours, eat 12, and I like that. I eat whatever I want to do during those 12 hours. So I appreciate fasting a lot. I think that there are so many benefits to fasting. I don't think like anything else, like there's only, fasting is the solution to all of our problems, but it definitely makes a lot of fucking sense that we shouldn't shove our fucking mouth hole full 5 times per day whenever we feel hungry. I have done 48-hour fast at most. Some people have done so much longer, 72 hours and whatnot, and they feel fantastic afterwards. I think that, there are a lot of great research that is backing up why we should step into fasting and being more in a state of utilizing everything that we eat instead of our shoving food into our system constantly. This whole idea that the fitness industry came up with and the food industry about how breakfast is the most important meal of the day and we should shove like cereal, milk, chocolate, and fucking jams, peanut butter and jam onto a sandwich and stuff it into our mouth. It's absolutely garbage. I think that the whole concept of like eating 5 times per day with a protein shake in between is definitely not sustainable. I think it's absolutely detrimental to everything in reality. I think that 2 meals per day, solid amount of focus on protein and fat coming from whatever source that you appreciate. Now, I have been vegan, raw vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian. I have been carnivore, so I can speak only for myself. I have tried all of them just so that I can understand what actually works best for me personally. That's why I think that food and what we shove into our mouth is very individual, and you need to take full responsibility for understanding what works best for you. Consuming, white rice, asparagus, and chicken breast may not serve you the very best, but evaluate what works and stick to that. Don't change anything that is working, but I definitely think that fasting can have a lot of great benefits to our overall health. Jack said that he will not stop, and I think that that's absolutely fantastic. So we have Y Carson X being the only one who says thumbs up that we should continue with this Savage Army series. Is that something that you want to see continue as well? Give me a thumbs up and we will do that. Unless, yes, we are almost done with today's episode. Tomorrow we are going to be back at the same time between 4 or 5. I don't know exactly when, so stay on the lookout for me popping up in your notification. And I'll be happy to connect with each and every one of you. Okay, so if you guys have any more questions for me, feel free to direct them to either info@thesavagearmy.com or on Instagram, The Savage Army. That is where you will find me, and I greatly appreciate your time and your presence here in today's live. And if you have any questions for me going forward, feel free to reach out to me at any given time. I look forward to connect with you tomorrow as well, but now we're going to end today's live. And per usual, guys, fucking let's have a good solid day. I love you guys, and let's fucking go.